Привет всем! Сегодня к нам присоединился мой брат Алекс. Он очень крутой, талантливый парень. И сегодня мы будем просто разговаривать на английском. И если вы не понимаете, не волнуйтесь, потому что есть субтитры на английском и есть субтитры на русском. И да. So Alex, tell us about yourself, basic facts about yourself.
I am 19 years old. I'm going to be turning 20 on April 17th. I am a student at college, and I am going for a bachelor's degree in computer science and hopefully become a computer engineer or software developer.
Okay, and why exactly did you choose that? Like, why'd you go for that path?
I like computers a lot, mainly a lot of like tech and stuff, and that just felt right to go to.
You always liked tech?
Yeah, I always liked it. Really been interested by how it works.
Since childhood, or did you get into it in high school, or when exactly?
Mainly now, but I've always liked messing with things.
Mhm.
And since there's more money to be made in computers, that just made more sense to go into the computers side.
Yeah, and you built like 2, 3, 4 computers in your lifetime. How many computers have you built?
Like 5, 4.
5, dang. So you with each new computer that you build, you improve on something.
Yeah, the skills get better.
And does the process become faster? Like
yeah, it becomes like muscle memory. You could just
muscle memory, yeah.
do
And
it
so
faster.
and now what hobbies do you have besides studying? When you have your free time, what do you like to do?
To play video games with my friends, do models like tanks, play guitar, listen to music.
Mhm.
It's mainly the main things.
Did you go to any music school to learn the guitar?
No, my friend taught me
Yeah.
how to play it.
How long have you been playing the guitar?
Like 2, 3 years.
3 years already. So you have some experience now with playing guitars.
Yeah.
What's your if like right now, just here right now, what's your favorite song to play on the guitar?
On the guitar, it will be Badlands by AC/DC.
Yeah. Do you know how to play any other AC/DC songs or just that one?
I know how to play It's a Long Way to the Top.
Oh, you know how to play them?
Yeah.
Good. And so you said you do modeling.
Uh-huh.
What do you like? You do just tanks? Have you tried modeling anything else?
I did a P-51 Mustang, which is a World War II plane, but I barely got into it. I only have like 3 built or 2 built, but I'm building my 3rd one. Because it's just interesting to do. I like just putting the model and then watching YouTube and then doing it.
How long does it take to build one?
It all depends how detailed you want the model. If you want it just to be built, I could build it in a day. But if I really want to make it look realistic and have a lot of good details, you could take weeks, and sometimes some people like the professionals take months to make.
Right.
But those are like for movies.
And doesn't your hand get tired from doing that?
No, because you're resting on it. But it's mainly just your hand shakes because you're just shaking naturally. But it's just, you know, control it. And it's just knowing an anatomy and how shadows would work.
Oh my goodness.
A bunch of small details, but it's in the future. I barely know how to make them. I'm a beginner.
Do you plan to making? Do you just make individual like planes, tanks, or do you also want to make like a scene? So there's like tanks coming on this side and tanks coming on that side, people fighting.
Eventually, I want to make like a big one, but first I need to find the space to put it, and eventually I need to get good enough to make a whole thing. Because right now I just have barely 2 done.
And so if you compare your first one to the one you're working on now, you've improved a lot.
Oh yes,
Especially
the first one,
on what?
everything. Because the first time I just got it and I just painted it how I thought. But now I was like, I need to make it look better. I looked at a bunch of YouTube videos, and if I follow what the professionals do, and in my opinion, it looks better than the first one. It looks more realistic and details like more accurate.
And so you also so you're doing school, but it's all online now.
Yes, because of COVID, it has to be online, but I don't like it. I'm waiting for it to go back to school.
What's your favorite subject right now?
I like history. History's fun.
Specifically, American history, world history.
American history gets a little boring because they don't really talk about the cool subjects. They mainly just talk about like the boring things, and you get really caught up in like civil rights and stuff.
Yeah.
And and I don't know how it is in Russia, but United States, since forever, and United States history is just mainly civil rights. And by the time you get to like college, you know everything about it.
Yeah.
So it's like really repetitive, and you're like, can we learn something else?
Yeah.
But I guess that's how it is. But so mainly now I like more world history because teach more other things and it's different.
Yeah. So what? Do you know any history about Russia? Only
No,
the October Revolution, the Soviet Union,
the SARS, Nicholas, the Crimean War,
Crimean War.
how the Prussian like just the mainly I know about like the 1800s and the Soviet Union, but modern history with the Russian Federation, no, not really much.
Like it's interesting how like Russia, a long time ago, 1,000 years ago, maybe in the 1300s, it was split into Muscovy and
Well, it was a lot of other little
Kingdoms,
small kingdoms.
yeah.
Even the Mongols and the Golden Horde and all that control a lot of the southern Russian part. Like
around Volga River, huh?
yeah, even up to Crimea, where Crimea is at the Golden Horde. But that's like back in the medieval ages. That's not even.
That's like in the 1300s,
Yeah.
1200s. I think it was around 1100. What was it when the Mongolians spread out?
Well, they spread out, and then he split up, and I believe he gave it to his sons, and then the sons made different empires, and it was like the Golden Horde, some other hordes, whatever. But then I guess I don't know how they left, but they eventually left, and then
Yeah.
other people settled there.
Yeah. Do you know exactly when? Because you like history. Do you know exactly when Russia unified? Not like unified, like Germany unified, but like how Muscovy, Novgorod, all these became Russia as we know it, like the Empire, Russian Empire.
No, I don't know. Not really.
Yeah. I think it's maybe it happened around 1700s or something like that. Do you like World War II history?
Yeah, it's like the main topic I know of.
That's your expertise.
Even though it's pretty like beginner compared to some people, because some people know every single, even about
Every battle.
they would know like, oh, that tank didn't exist. That only 600 were produced. It was very like the tank modelers. Like it kind of goes together because people who do modeling like a lot of history, and they know precise stuff about the vehicles. Like it's crazy. You know how it was manufactured. Like you know how they built it so they could build it. Like it's I don't know. It goes really deep, but
And are those people who are engineers or just
no,
historians?
they're just normal people that just like learning about that stuff. But
Yeah.
I guess they spend a lot more time than I do because I just have like a passing interest. I would consider that, but even though I know a lot more than the average person, I would just consider myself like a novice compared to those.
Would you ever
advanced
consider selling your models?
people. If I get really good, I would probably look into like putting them in movies and stuff. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cause Adam Savage, the guy from MythBusters,
Yeah.
they did that's their job. That was their job before MythBusters.
Oh, they're doing models.
Models, they're
Yeah?
model workers that work for like movies, big movies.
Oh. Wow. Do most movies use models?
Yeah, they don't. It's less now because you have CGI, but they will still find
Yeah, I
like,
know back in the 60s,
like
50s.
like the movie T-35, or like the movie from Fury. I guess people made those in models, so when they have like big scenes, they're not actual tanks sometimes, and so since CGI people don't really like it because you could still tell in CGI, they use models, and those are actually made out of metal, but they're small still.
So they have cameras zoomed in.
Yeah, they look far away, so they have a bunch of models just going at once, and they're like electronically controlled and stuff. But because since they don't want to use CGI, because people you tend to notice, and to be authentic, they don't use that.
You ever considered making a YouTube channel showcasing your creations?
It's too much work. I don't know. It's way too much work.
May-
I would do it, but
The editing's too much work.
yeah,
but,
editing's no, but I like editing. Editing's funny. I like doing like memes and stuff like my computer. It's funny, but and then I don't know, because eventually I'll see a lot of YouTubers like they do model, but they eventually get controlled by their audience. You know, so they're we don't want to see that, even though you want to do that.
Yeah.
But you have to be like, I have to do it because right now they're gonna dislike or whatever.
You have to do like a Pikachu or Among Us.
Oh yeah, so they're like, doing Among Us. I'm like, what? I don't want to do that. The heck?
Yeah.
That's weird. But then they're like, do it, and I have to do it. So you eventually just go off your interest, and then you lose interest because it becomes like a job.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh. They say that if your hobby of the model you're working on is starting to feel like a chore, just throw it away.
Yeah.
Cause it's like just you go into a new one because you're eventually gonna hate it if you be like, oh, I have to finish this model.
Yeah.
Cause then you're gonna hate yourself for it.
Yeah,
so
like
if you just don't like, just throw it away and start a new one.
So he works on his models in the backyard in the shack, and it's 9 p.m., 10 p.m., like around 11 p.m. That's when he returns back home and goes to his room because he stays in the shack late working on his creations. He's so into that thing. Yeah. Well, Alex, thank you so much for telling us about your hobbies, your interests, and helping my subscribers improve their listening comprehension and their English and everything.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah. Спасибо, ребята, за просмотр. Пожалуйста, подпишитесь и не забудьте поставить лайк тоже. До встречи. Пока. Bye-bye.